Hey guys, thanks for listening to our show. So we did this episode on addiction, which is kind of a sketchy topic, and we, near the beginning of the episode, wanted to start it off in more of a lighthearted way because the theme can get a little bit dark, and we do actually get a little bit into that darkness with our interview with Aaron B. Thompson later in the episode. But we start off the show on a light note where we're referencing the TLC show My Strange Addiction, and we kind of laugh at some of the strange addictions. And
not we kind of like especially
yeah,
me,
we laugh.
And I'll be honest. An addiction is addiction. Like, and that's something that shouldn't be made fun of. It's not something that, it was not our best moment. And
right.
And honestly, it's something that we want to move on from and we want to learn from, but we want to say something at the beginning. Sorry if this offends you.
Also, we didn't want to delete it because the episode itself is so good. There's so much good music.
Right.
And also, I like to eat my mistakes. And so my mistake is going to stay out there and be a part of our podcast legacy or whatever. And we'll try to be more empathetic in the future because,
sure.
I mean, at its heart, that TLC show that we reference was exploitative. Man, what's that word? Exploitative, yeah, of people mostly with mental illness. It's arguable about whether or not they even had addictions in the normal sense of the word. But yeah, so in our attempt to try to keep the show entertaining and light, we may have been offensive to people that have real life addiction. And hopefully, if you are offended in that first section, you listen through our interview with Aaron B. Thompson, who is an addict and a recovering addict. And we get a little bit more intense there. And in reality, we take addiction very seriously.
Right.
We were just trying to be entertaining.
Yes.
Yeah.
We apologize to anyone who gets offended. Give us another shot. Listen past the intro. And thanks for listening. Let's get to the show.
This is just to let you know that we've started to live stream these shows on Facebook. So if you're not following us on Facebook, you should definitely do that. And if you hear us mentioning stuff about the live stream or people that we're talking to on the live stream, that's why. But the episode you're listening to now is after I've already edited it all up and fixed everything. Anyway, enjoy the show.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do.
Word from the nation's top scientists on the zombie virus that appeared just 2 weeks ago.
Hello out there, and welcome to episode 15 of the B-Side Guys.
15?
A podcast. I know. We are a podcast that focuses on undiscovered music that all centers around a theme. And today's theme is... Oh. I feel like you're... the theme is addiction. I feel like you're addicted to either stealing things or fingers, and then marijuana.
Yeah. All of those things at once.
In that order.
Yeah. One just kind of leads to another.
Stealing leads to marijuana. We all saw 90s.
They've had it backwards the whole time. False correlation.
Right. Okay, before we get too far, Caleb, tell us who that was.
Yeah, so that was... okay, so when he sent the song, he went by Leonstapleton. But if you are looking up currently on SoundCloud, it's Lee-Stir. And I don't know which one he wants to go by. We're going to go with Lee-Stir. And the song is Lima.
Okay.
And yeah, it's got like this cool, like jazzy, but also like you're in an 80s video game sort of vibe to it.
Well, I was about to say, it's like South American elevator music. And I dig it. And I guess Lima, Peru. So it makes sense, I suppose. Yeah, so anyways, the episode is about addiction. So Caleb, we always like to talk about how the theme relates to us. Tell me all your secrets. Tell me about your addictions.
We just got a great comment in the live feed that Juliana, I'm going to screw up her last name, Demayanska? Skaya? I know, I probably messed it up. She's addicted to food, and yeah, I'm definitely totally addicted to food. As far as real addiction goes, I definitely, I don't think I have any vices as far as alcohol or drugs, although I love to drink. And maybe
I'm not addicted to alcohol. I just love it so much that I can't stop.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah.
Whatever.
Well, I'm in that stage, I guess, where you don't admit that it's an addiction yet. But I definitely have an addictive personality when it comes to just like my interests. Like I'll get really intensely. I think you're the same way. You'll probably say something similar, but I get really intensely interested in something, which is kind of how this podcast was born. And then I kind of wane off for a little while, and then I'll get intensely interested in again, or interested in something else. And that's mainly my addiction, is like I'll just really fervently follow something for like 2 months, and then I'm still working on the follow through. Although, I'm impressed. We're over a year old. This is a pretty good follow through.
We are.
Yeah. What about you, Seth?
We are. Yeah. I mean, most of the time we're pretty good with the follow through. So. Right now, I'm the same way. My addiction. I picked up the needle again and got back into Magic the Gathering.
Hey.
My wife is really stoked about that. It's a money suck, and it is awesome. So that is kind of my addiction right now. But I'm the same way. Never really had any kind of a real addiction as far as a vice like alcohol or drugs. I did a stint where I didn't drink just to make sure that it wasn't any kind of an issue.
I actually did the same thing. Like a couple of months back, I went like 10 days, a week or 10 days, I don't remember, just to see like, hey, check in. Am I going to have physical withdrawal symptoms? No? All right.
All right, back at it. So that's probably my only addiction right now is Magic the Gathering. I know that's awful, but it's true, unfortunately.
I never got fully into Magic. I was into the Pokemon cards, and I'll still play Pokemon cards. I have a deck. It's probably pretty dated now because I haven't updated in like 5 years, but I would still play Pokemon. But anyway.
Okay, so done. We're going to play Pokemon. I want to play Pokemon.
That's the next live stream. We're going to Skype us playing Pokemon.
It will be even more boring than this live stream. Speaking of, I just got back into Pokemon Go.
Oh, really? Have they made good updates?
They released it to where you could be friends with other trainers.
Okay.
So you can trade and different things like that. So that's interesting. And really, I got back into it because of people at work. There's just an absolute shit ton of them at our work. And so I just go in and, catch a bunch. But now it's kind of taken over. And I make, detours on my way home.
That actually, in not the same way, but reminded me of one of the vices I did pick up for a little while. In college, I picked up
cloves.
Yeah, I picked up cigarettes, and it was because I worked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did because I worked at Jersey Mike's. I worked restaurant job or whatever, and I noticed that all the smokers got breaks, and I didn't ever get breaks otherwise. So I was like, I'm just gonna go on a smoke break. And so for a solid year I smoked, but then I was like, nah, I don't want to have lung cancer. Sorry if you guys smoke. You probably shouldn't. It's not good for you.
I was about to say, no, don't be sorry. There's real scientific evidence. So unless you're 55 and older, there's no reason anymore for you. You don't have an excuse. Yeah. My mom and stepfather are both respiratory therapists, so I have very, very strong feelings about this. But anyways, so let's get into our guests, plural. I don't know if you heard the S.
I didn't.
We've got a lot there, and you're not gonna guess any of their names. So let's I'm gonna read a few of them. It is people that have these really strange addictions.
Okay.
And we brought them.
Did you
onto
know
the
them
show,
beforehand, or did you look them up?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I didn't know them beforehand. These are really weird. This is not. If you knew this beforehand,
How about you say their name and I'll guess the addiction?
Okay, Luiz Squarici. He's a 42-year-old Brazilian, and he had to quit his job to feed this addiction. And feed is not really it's not a keyword there.
He's addicted to collecting mice hats, like hats for his pet.
No, it's worse.
Okay.
Which that reminds me. Did you ever see Dinner for Schmucks?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Steve Carell.
Maybe that was deeply embedded in me just now.
But anyways, Luis Squarici loves to smell dead bodies.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Does he work in a morgue?
No, I don't think so, because he quit his job to where he could go smell more dead bodies. So I think if he worked at a morgue, he'd be in the perfect position.
Yeah, that's he picked the wrong career, really.
Yeah, I mean, and that's okay. He's 42. He's got time. This is a midlife crisis. You change. You work in a morgue, and then you have life fulfillment.
Right.
All
right, give me another name.
God. Ugh. Carrie. Oh, Carrie. She did not want her. Oh God. She did not want her last name, and for good reason. Carrie loves to drink her own urine.
Oh. That's that's rough.
In a 4-year time frame, so really not much. She has consumed how many gallons of her own urine do you think she's consumed?
In a 4-year time frame.
4 years.
So like a gallon of milk is what I'm thinking of worth of urine. Let's say 40 gallons.
Let's say over 20 times that amount, 900 gallons.
Oh my God!
Of her own.
How long do you think it takes to fill up a gallon of urine? Do you do that a day? Do you pee a gallon a day?
So now, okay, I'm thinking, so in the picture,
because that's 300 days worth of. I mean, that's 3
urine
years.
Is deeply yellow.
Urine.
So she's dehydrated, which I
Right.
think it would be harder to produce this 900 gallons if you're dehydrated. I think you would have, if you have this addiction to urine, I think you would have the
addiction to
clearest
water
urine on the
as
planet,
well.
because you just keep, it would be. So I mean, good with the bad, I guess, but it apparently does not flow that way.
Yeah, I mean, that still doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because if I'm literally like thinking about it, 900 gallons.
900 gallons.
Let's say you do somehow produce a gallon per day, which I don't think you do. I don't think I ever have.
Over 4 years.
But that's 3 years worth of urine. Like 3 years, if you drank a gallon a day for 3 years, or if you made a gallon a day for 3 years.
Well, no, not really. Because I mean, you're
like 2 and something.
Yeah, not really 3. Yeah, so it would be. Because that would leave out 180 days or so, 180
2.5
days,
2.5 years.
But yeah, but anyways, it's a lot.
So
That's
maybe
a lot
you
of urine.
create like half a gallon, or like a little over half a gallon.
Right. Then that means she drinks all of her urine.
Yeah. All right.
Ugh.
Give me one more.
Okay.
You have
Anyways,
one more?
awesome. Yeah, we have one more. Oh, we have one more. Lisa. Oh man, she is.
Do we have any background info on her before?
This is worse to me than drinking urine for some reason.
Oh.
Like I don't get it, but
Worse.
okay. She has. Oh God, I can't look at the picture. Jeez. And this is like a thing that I have. I can't.
You're a empathy vomiter.
She licks her cat and eats the hair.
Ooh, yeah, that is worse than your own urine.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And like, if I get a hair in my mouth, I freak out. I think I'm about to vomit. I can't like.
Ooh.
And the picture is her. Oh. The picture is her eating a clump of. Oh.
See, this is why you need to watch the live stream, because over the podcast you're not seeing Seth like literally about to puke on camera.
Okay, let's just go ahead and let's just jump into the first song about addiction because, oh my God,
right.
I'll share more throughout.
Yeah, we can't describe it. Yeah, so the first song,
it is Brother Toaster with Bupropion Blues.
So that was Brother Toaster with the song Bupropion Blues. Man, say that 5 times fast. Bupropion Blues. And I guess that's probably some sort of drug. But the song, well, it definitely is some sort of drug, sorry.
It's an antidepressant medication that affects chemicals within the brains that nerves use to send messages to the other.
Exactly.
It's an antidepressant.
So, again, we talked about self-medicating last time and how, some of us self-medicate with marijuana, which I think is okay. But I do think I think that's okay, and I think it's so okay that it should be regulated and that you should be able to go to your doctor and for it to make sense that way, because it may not be okay for everyone. It's just like everything else. But anyway, this song is about taking pharmaceuticals to quit smoking, which I guess is what this person felt like they needed to do. But they were still experiencing all the panic or depression or whatever issues that they were experiencing before that they used to use marijuana as a crutch for. And now they're not, or it just says quit smoking. I'm assuming marijuana. Could just be, I guess they used to smoke cigarettes. But
probably.
I just assumed marijuana. But yeah, just basically once you get addicted to anything, how hard it is to transition off of it. And there are various drugs that you can take to try to transition off of it, but that doesn't necessarily make it that much easier, and taking a pill isn't the same as actually like putting the cigarette in your mouth or whatever it is,
Yep. So the lyrics here, they are very interesting. So it's like you said, I just want to read some of them because it is I would lean more towards cigarettes over something else.
Okay.
But that's just how I related to the song. Just because unfortunately, being in the restaurant industry, I spend a lot of my days around people who smoke a ton of cigarettes. And I spend a lot of my time around people that smoke a lot of weed, too. Mostly the same people. But I never really hear anyone talking about, I want to stop smoking marijuana. I don't want to smoke. It's usually just cigarettes because people understand they're going to kill you. I think they really do deep down. But it is an addictive thing to try to get rid of out of your life. And I've heard of a lot of people taking prescription medication to try to get rid of that. But I've been feeling like I've been stressed out. I've been fiending like a rubber band that's stretching out. I love that how he goes in, takes it like.
That's also just a great lyric, but yeah.
Exactly. Everyone's pulled that rubber band to the point where you can start to see the cracks in that rubber band, and then it just snaps, and it says, "I can fly into space for an eternity, but I don't want to smoke." And it's like he's coming to a point where he will put up with all of feeling like that rubber band stretched out just to not smoke, which is interesting. I just thought that was a really cool verse there.
Yeah, no, that's a great line. Also, it just has a really nice imagery to it. But yeah. You want to move on to the next song?
Real quick.
Oh, sorry. Give me another fun fact.
So, I'm trying to go to ones that aren't as weird. This one. Yeah, let's get into this one. Jay, a 28-year-old, and this could be, she's trying to use something different, is addicted to snorting baby powder at least 10 times a day, and she developed the addiction 16 years ago. So in my mind, this one relates. I like to think that Jay was, snorting cocaine, and then she weaned off of it, and now she just goes to baby powder. It's like tobaccoless cigarettes or something like that.
I was just watching an episode of Blue Mountain State. Do you ever watch that show?
I do not.
I'm very far behind on it. It came out in like 2010 or something, and it was a very short-lived run. But it's summer, and I have a lot of time in summer. But they were about to have to take a drug test, and so they were trying to stay clean for 3 days so that everything got out of their system. And they were taking the cleaner or whatever, like, to powder form that you like mix in a drink usually.
Okay.
By the way, if you're trying to get past a drug test, I don't know, Google it. And
the cleaner.
And instead of mixing it in the drink, they were snorting it because they were like, well, it gives me a very brief like head high, which is better than like nothing at all. I mean, obviously it's
I just need to feel
a fictional show. But yeah, maybe it's the same situation with the baby powder.
Maybe. All right, let's get into the next song. It is Rileycatherall with Watered Down Man.
Well, I'm 2 parts water and I'm 3 parts sand. When evening comes, I'll be back again. What beast will this crescent bring? Yeah, I'm 2 parts water and I'm 3 parts sand. Well, this whiskey coat has a man inside. He's a whisper in a weak man's final sigh. But he'll tell you that he's alright. Yeah, this whiskey coat has a man inside. I'm never gonna hold you like you want me to. You know watered down man in a whiskey coat. Well, I saw her outside the retreat hotel. Through foggy eyes, but I saw her still. A girl with a soul to sell. She said the devil lives down at the retreat hotel. I'm never gonna hold you like you want me to. You know I won't, 'cause I'm just a watered down man in a whiskey coat. I'm just a watered down man in a whiskey coat. Well, I'm 2 parts water and I'm 3 parts sin. But don't mistake me for the state I'm in. One day it may be what's been, but for now I'm 2 parts water and I'm 3 parts sin.
So that was Rileycatherall with the song Watered Down Man. And that song's just so beautiful. Like every word in it is basically gorgeous. But he says it's a song about walking the streets in a whiskey coat, which those of you who don't drink, that's when you drink when it's cold out so that you don't have to worry so much about it being cold out.
Right, your liquor jacket.
Your liquor jacket, same thing, yeah.
Alcohol is a blood thinner, so not a great idea. It's all up here.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, it's mental. I mean, you don't want to do
Right.
it if you're literally about to freeze to death, because it'll make you freeze to death faster. But if
Correct.
you just got to walk to the next bar, not a terrible idea.
Yeah, so it starts out, I love the line that it starts out with, I'm 2 parts water and 3 parts sin. So it's
Yeah,
the
definitely.
sin, I would assume, is referring to the alcohol, and like that now he's so far down into the alcohol that his body composition is more alcohol than water.
Yeah.
So we're sitting at about, 45% alcohol at
Wow.
that point, I guess.
That's pretty good math. I don't know if it's true, but I'm just going to take
What?
your word for it.
We're 70% water, so I was just getting around the
Oh,
area. I'm
gotcha.
not. Yeah, no. I'm not like. That's not. Someone out there is like, the Zach Galifianakis meme. Actually, it's 42.9. Whatever. Screw you. Anyways, I hate people that are good at math. I don't. You're lovely people.
Yeah. All right.
I'm just very jealous. Anyways. So that line is so neat because
and it's also a
follows
reference to a
into-
drink, like 1 part gin, 2 parts,
Right.
whatever, yeah.
Right, and then it leads into like what is, I don't remember the exact line, but it's like, what is this beast going to create basically now? And I think that's such a brutal way of looking at who you are when you've been drinking. You know that it's making you something that you can't control. You're a beast.
Yeah.
But you're going to do it anyways.
Yeah, well, it's a double-edged sword because, I think we all have pretty good memories of being drunk. I know I do. But there is that, maybe 1 out of 10 times or whatever where you are an asshole or you say something that you shouldn't have said or whatever because it lowered your inhibitions to the point that you did something stupid.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can... There are really great nights that stand out in my mind, but there are also some nights where I'm like, that fight was entirely... The fight I just
shouldn't
got
have done
into
that.
was entirely due to alcohol. Exactly.
Right.
And that's the whole thing with addiction or with mind alteration in any way. You're definitely losing control, and that's the good thing, because it'll loosen you up. But it's also like not always good.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're like me. Like when I drink, it's Jekyll and Hyde. It's I either am super good at letting things roll off my back. It's just, you could say that you want to stab me in an alley and eat my organs, which I'm sure is a weird addiction on that list.
Right.
And I'd just be whatever. But then other times you would say, "Oh man, I think you've got a scuff on your shoes," and I'm like, "No, I fucking don't. You have a scuff on your shoes, you better have a scuff on your face." I don't really get like violent when I drink, but I do get offended. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I know some people are like that.
I'm very rarely an angry drunk, but when I am, it's like almost impossible to snap out of. Like it's super rare, but once it,
with all of that,
the few times that it does hit, it's like, I'm so in my own head that I can't even the night's over once I kick into that mood, basically, if it ever happens.
Yeah. So, another addiction right before we go to the next one. Oh, shit.
Wait, hold on. Before you do that, by the way, if you like that song, Riley is releasing another song in about a month or 6 weeks. And I'm sure it's going to be awesome, because it's going to be country folk Americana from an Australian man, and you can't beat that.
Which, as guys from the heart of country land and folk music in the Southeast, I love hearing other people around the world pick up the mantle, because honestly, I like it better when they do it, typically. If we're being completely honest. So, check it out. And another weird addiction for you guys. Bertha, she is 23. She's only 23. Oh, shit, man. She drinks nail polish. When she's thirsty, she drinks nail... That doesn't seem possible.
I mean, back in, like, Prohibition, people used to drink, like, rubbing alcohol and stuff, so maybe...
But I mean, what chemicals are like?
Oh, it's bad for you. Yeah, like it's not good, but it wouldn't kill you the first time unless you drank like a gallon of it.
According to her, she drinks 5 bottles each day. And she has a favorite flavor, which this sounds like my 3-year-old saying his favorite flavor of Gatorade. She loves to drink the blue flavor.
Blue flavor.
What does that even mean? It's like I like red M&Ms the best, but they're the same damn thing. Ollie, anything green. He's like, well, I'm like, why do you want that? He's like, because it's green. He's like, that's the best taste because it's green.
I get that.
So she likes the blue flavor or anything with glitter in it. So keep that in mind when you're looking for a Christmas present.
Maybe it just feels different. I bet the glitter probably does have a different consistency.
Yeah, and oh my god, man. Just her mouth after she drinks glitter nail polish. She just anyways, she shines. She flies so high. Anyways, the next song.
Yeah.
Let's get into another song about this was actually about breaking addiction, right? And that is Aaron B. Thompson with Middle of My Own Nowhere.
Dead tired as rock and roll. My stride used to be steady, but it seems I have slowed. And the road is as good a place as any to lay down and let go. Close your eyes for just a few. Let my mind do the walking back to you. I've been too long on the run. I've been too long being on the run. Too far out there in the middle of my own, in the middle of my own. explanations in store. My reasons are as good as any, so let yourself let go. Close your eyes for a different view. Let your heart do the talking for you. I've been too long on the run. I've been too long being no one. Too far out there in the middle of my own, in the middle of my own nowhere. And the road is as good a place as any to lay down and let go. I've been too long on the run. I've been too long being no one. Too far out there in the middle of my own, in the middle of my own, in the middle of my own, in the middle of my own nowhere.
Before we get too intensely into the analysis of the song, just know that we got it completely wrong. But luckily, we followed up our completely wrong analysis, which I think is still worth listening to because it was interesting to talk about, with an interview with Aaron Thompson. So Aaron B. Thompson. Also, you'll notice that Seth's mic is a little bit screwy because of some Skype problems, but just hang in there because I think there's some really good stuff that came out of the interview. And we had a really interesting conversation with Aaron B. Thompson. So thanks for listening. All right, so that was Aaron B. Thompson with the song "Middle of My Own Nowhere," which the way that we viewed this working into addiction, he kind of said that it's about choosing ambition over a relationship. So, you know, at least in my own life, and I'm sure a lot of people, addiction isn't always a drug or something like some inanimate sort of abstract thing. It could be a person, right? And the way that that sometimes holds you back, either because they're not the right person or it's not the right time or whatever it is. And, you know, if you're going to fully commit yourself to a musical career, say, like Aaron B. Thompson is, it can be somewhat of a detriment to try to be in some sort of serious relationship. And that's one of the most difficult decisions to make, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you're, like you said, addiction comes in many forms, and it doesn't have to be something like smoking that's going to kill you at 55 or whatever.
Smoke weed every day.
Throwing that out there, again, for, like I said, I have a very strong stance on cigarettes. But anyways, addiction can come in many forms. One being, I mean, if you're addicted to your music, or if you're addicted to, I don't know if Aaron B. Thompson's addicted to music or addicted to the person, or addicted to, honestly, a lot of people are addicted to the applause and the recognition that comes along with the music, they
or
want
the
that
idea
pat on the
of
back.
that.
They want that. Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of us musicians don't really get that, but just the idea of one day getting that, where people appreciate your genius,
Right.
because every artist, every musician is a genius in their own mind, and a lot of them are in certain ways. But the song talks about that and how he's addicted to the road and addicted to this person. You got to pick. Some things don't correlate, and some things don't mesh well, and you have to figure that out.
Yeah, definitely. And there's the repeated line, the middle of my own nowhere or whatever. And in a physical sense, if we're talking about, actually going on the road and being away from any sort of attachments or whatever, then, physically that makes sense. But also from an emotional standpoint, you kind of have to be your own support system. If you're an artist and you're just starting out and you're grinding away trying to get an audience, especially if you're talented like Aaron B. Thompson is, but you just haven't been heard by enough people yet. There's definitely a threshold that you have to reach early on, and that takes a lot of ambition and willpower and all that sort of thing, unless you're just really lucky.
Yeah, and there's, and we talked about it in the creativity episode as well, with, who was it, Robert Ledette, the Play for Free. Like, you got to do a lot of shit to get noticed out of the gate, and you may not be proud of all of that, but if that is your addiction, if that is your goal, you're gonna have to make sacrifices, and in this case, you're gonna have to sacrifice people, or to save the people, you're gonna have to sacrifice the career, and that's really what it boils down to. Honestly, that's all life boils down to. If we're being real here, the fact that it's all a series of shitty choices, and you just have to make the best choice for you in that moment, and then live with what you have to leave.
I was going to say, at least the most important choices seem to be kind of shitty.
Right.
The most important ones are never like, oh, this is the obvious path. It's like, oh, I don't know, I have these two really good options, or I have these two shitty or shittier option, and that's just the way it is.
And I don't know if Daniel's still in here. I don't really know how to tell that kind of stuff, but Daniel, this reminded me of something he's doing, and this is actually the best choice. He's writing a website and possibly an app, I believe, about breakfast cereal. It's like the Yelp of breakfast cereals. Hey. Choosing between two delicious cereals is one of the best choices I can think of in my life. Oh, he's still here. Daniel, what would be the hardest choice? Tell me the two cereals that you would hate to choose between.
While we're waiting on him to type, I think the worst for me would be like Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Lucky Charms.
Yeah. Okay. So that's where my mind would be. But he's always taking pictures of like Oreo limited edition pedestal cereals that. Okay. Here we go. Fruity Pebbles and Blueberry Pancake Crunch. Is that like Captain Crunch but blueberry pancake?
Yeah, I've never even heard of blueberry pancake crunch, but it sounds delicious. And
that one,
just for the novelty. I mean, Fruity Pebbles are delicious, but they're only delicious for the first 3 seconds that you put the milk on, and then they get all soggy.
Well, you have to
like devour it.
To me, it's like Rice Krispies. You gotta eat a full bowl over 3 different milk servings. Like you do a third of a bowl milk and then eat it.
That's smart.
Of a bowl milk.
That's smart. But also a pain in the ass.
You just keep the milk on hand. And no, I need cold milk, so I put it back in the fridge every time I get up and go to the fridge. No, I'm kidding. And he inhales Fruity Pebbles so they never get soggy, I guess.
Okay, so where were you going with that? The hardest cereal to choose between?
No. I'm saying to your point, that the most important choices in life are usually between, it leaves you leaving out something that you really want.
Like Fruity Pebbles or Blueberry Pancake Crunch.
Well, I was saying that is something that at the end, you're going to be happy either way you go. Whereas when you're making these real serious choices, you may look back one day and be like, zigged when I should have zagged, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of those important choices, you'll at least have some moment in the future where you look back and you're like, was that right? What would my life be like if I had done the other? Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's get into our interview with Aaron B. Thompson. We talked about some really interesting topics, such as mostly addiction, but a little bit about movies and Disney characters and all that sort of stuff. So Aaron, tell us a little bit about the music video that we just saw. Was that your daughter in the video?
That is, yeah, that's my daughter, Hannah. She's loves, obviously, acting, and she does lots of stage stuff, actually, for kids where we live here in the community. So on a Saturday afternoon, instead of coloring books, we made a music video. So
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's not a high budget film, but it was still fun to make. I mean, just Anyway, we try to
For sure.
we try to. Well, I like to incorporate them as much as possible. You know, it's experiences that they wouldn't possibly get, otherwise. So try to have some fun with it.
So tell us a little bit about that song. I know, we talked about the video a little bit, but tell us about the lyrics behind it. And really, I read your bio. I've talked to you a little bit about your past. In the mid-20s, those were pretty rough years. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration for not only the song, but for your album.
Well, the inspiration for the song actually came from a conversation I had with Hannah. She asked me about what it would be like if I was more famous. And so then I started to think about what life would be like if I had chose that other path. But I think really what I wanted to talk about was the comment that I left the other day, which is the act of pursuing something that's selfish. And you really can't go back and fix it. The best you can really do is attempt to make up for lost time. So I think really, and this happens to a lot of addicts, if you've ever sat in on an AA meeting, regret is really, it's something that you have to work at to let go.
Sure.
So, yeah. That's really why that song, I think it hits a couple of chords with me, no pun intended. It's that piece of it, of, the what if I had never had the support that my wife gave me when we first got married, and struggled through those years with me, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation right now, and that record probably would have never been made.
Sure.
So I think that's really the opus of the song. The crux of it is really that that's the statement that I wanted to make. And I think when I write, I try to be personal, but at the same time, I want you to be able to take a story maybe from your life or an experience or someone and maybe they cross your mind, or maybe, a certain memory. So if I'm too succinct, then I lose that piece of it. So,
right.
It's broad strokes. Yeah.
That's something we talk about quite a bit, me and Caleb, with each other, as well as on the blog, that we love being able to tell that there's a real story, but also being able to pull something for us personally from a song. Yeah. And this song is the epitome of that. Like you said, it's because we've all had path A and path B. It wasn't the same path necessarily, but it's a tough choice. You pick one and you just have to, like you said, you live with it and figure it out. And sometimes you make the right choice, like you made. Like I'm sure, family over everything, which is, but then sometimes you make the wrong choice and you just have to figure it out at that point. So it is that, two roads diverged. So it's a really neat song. But so the album itself, though, and remind me of the title of the album.
Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole album, though, is about your overall road to redemption from those years of your mid-20s and making up for lost time, right? The whole thing.
Yeah, lots of the stories, I think, are just a they traverse the last decade or so of my life. And I think what ends up happening is, as the inspiration comes and the process takes place for writing, like those experiences start to bubble up and surface, and that's really how the whole thing started. I was trying to find a way to take something that was so dark and turn it into something that had some beauty, right? I think that's as close to redemption for that regret that I can possibly attain is,
right.
Is writing these songs. So
those are, for me personally, those are the most beautiful pieces of music. Like as the name and the blog can tell you, we're not top 40 guys. We don't like party songs, whatever. We like songs that talk about the worst points in your life and the best points in your life, not just another day somewhere. You know what I mean? So like Caleb said, I like the point where some choices you make and some choices some things you don't really have a choice in. So everything from these songs about recovering from addiction and to songs about being born in the wrong neighborhood. Those are all my favorite songs because they're all about dealing with the bad.
Yeah.
And it's uplifting, honestly, to hear, and it helps so many people understand that they're not, because a lot of times you feel like you're the only one who's gone through a certain situation, but music is so powerful in that sense that I don't know you, Aaron. I mean, we met today, but I can listen to this, or someone else can listen to this. But you learn from these songs that even though I don't know you, you and I may have a similar path. And seeing, especially someone who's currently in the thralls of something like an addiction or something like that, they can see it's not over. You have a wife and a kid now, and some people feel like it's too late. But it's not. It's never, obviously, and you can attest to that. But anyways, we don't want to stay serious for too long. We're here to, have fun. But is there anything that you want to say while we're on a serious note? I just want to open the floor. Do you want to say anything about anything?
I think just to bookend what you said, it is never too late. It's definitely not easy. It's not been perfect. The road, like the song, like to go back to the song, you get tired at times. But I think that really rock bottom for addicts is that place where they feel so tired that they just don't want it anymore, because it's exhausting.
Right.
And even like in the workplace for me, I work with addicts on a daily basis. I mean, I support families whose children are in foster care. So the majority of the time it's neglect due to addictions, right? But I just totally lost my train of thought there for a sec. Sorry.
I get it. No worries.
Yeah, it's the tired. You have to recognize it, and that's when the transformation can happen. But until you recognize that a change needs to be made, it's really difficult.
I feel like addiction itself is a very interesting topic, just because it's both a disease and a choice, I guess, or maybe if that's an incorrect way of talking about it, let me know. But what I mean by that is like you would classify it as a disease, just like, I don't know, the cold is or whatever. But it also is a mental thing, and you have to take these steps through your willpower to get to a certain place, and it's a constant everyday sort of, I'm sober today, I'm not, you're not out of the clear, you're not ever out of the clear or whatever. But just that simple fact that it's both personal choice, mental, and also something that's happening to you makes it for a very, I imagine, very frustrating and very difficult thing to deal with on a daily basis. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's sometimes when people have like they have a preconceived notion about just through media about addicts. You know, they like, if I'm at a party and it comes up, then they start to sort of cover their beer, and sort of just like become unsettled by the whole thing because they think that they're triggering me, which is great because that shows that they're sensitive to it. But at the same time, it's like, it's okay. Like that's, there's this thing that we often say, like, you're an addict or you're a normie. Like, normies are people that can, have a beer or two and then call it a night. I'm just not one of those people. And,
right.
I think when you recognize what your triggers are, and it takes a while, and you have to, and then lean into your supports when you are triggered. I mean, you almost have to become like a weatherman. Like, you got to forecast what's happening. Like, oh, I'm feeling this and I'm kind of feeling that, and this has got me into trouble before, so I better do something about it. It's when you don't do anything about it that you end up relapsing or slipping, or, however you want to frame it. But yeah, that's the disease part, right?
Right.
The disease part is it's like, humans, we are obsessed with pattern and routine. And what you've done with alcohol or drugs is you've routinized your brain. You've changed the chemistry. You've pruned it in a certain way, that you have to fight that pattern, right? And that's where the disease model comes from.
It's the whole relearning how to do everything without it, right? Like,
yeah. Exactly. And that's why residential treatment programs exist. Like, you go and you step outside of your routine and your pattern, and you re-routinize yourself, and then hopefully you're successful when you go back in to the real world.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, what is it? They say you have to do something, it has to be a routine. I mean, like you say, you basically have to reprogram. It has to be a routine for 30 days for it to become habitual, or for it to become part of your life, So, I mean, like you said, it's just more to that fact that it does do you, it is good to remove yourself from that, that day-to-day grind. Because, I mean, even if you try your hardest, it's going to be a lot more difficult, especially because your day-to-day grind, not necessarily for you, I don't know your backstory, but a lot of addicts are surrounded by other addicts. So, I mean, you can't, it's trying to become a herbivore in a room full of predators. It's like you can't do it. When there's a lot of people who are like, it's everyone's relying on each other to feed them that. Because I work in a restaurant. I'm front of house manager at a restaurant here, and so I work with a lot of addicts too, or recovering. He's been sober for 3 years, I think. I think he just celebrated 3 years, but he's the kind of guy, like, he removes himself from any kind of sketchy situation just because he doesn't want to be anywhere close to it. And it's just, it is a constant fight. He always says, he's like, I'm always an addict. I just don't give into it anymore, or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but it's really, really strong stuff. Anyways, let's bounce.
All I was gonna say is, speaking of the sensitivity that you brought up a second ago, we're gonna kind of transition into a lighter side.
I was about to say, let's bounce to some less heavy stuff.
But do let us know if any of this is like triggering or anything. I don't think it is, like,
or not triggering, but insensitive.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But because anyways, so we have three sections.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah, do it.
If there are any people that are struggling, that are watching this, like, message me through Facebook or whatever, you know, like if you need somebody that you want to talk to, that I'm totally down. So anyway,
he's linked right at the top of this video, so you can just click his name and go through there. But that's awesome. Yeah,
I would imagine it's like any other thing. It's about creating community, and that's the key, is to create a community of people around you who want to see you recover, you know, or to move on and to help you. Anyways, so we have 3 segments of an interview. There's Know the Art, which we did. Now we do Know the Artist. So I'm going to ask you some weird, ridiculous, whatever questions, and just figure out where your brain's at.
They all have to do with the theme.
Yeah, they all have to do with the theme, addiction. So the first one will start out easy. There are 3 movies where the main character is an addict. You pick which movie's your favorite. Flight, Requiem for a Dream, or Ray.
Ooh. Oh, that's a really tough question, you guys. I think Flight really bothered. Like, I watched that movie when I was it was pretty fresh for me, and
Right.
that scene with the mini bar, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, you put yourself, and that's what I was talking about. He put himself in harm's way. And instead of like picking up a phone, he sat and stared at the mini bar all night. And then, yeah, look what happens. You can only hold on for so long, right?
Right.
Requiem for a Dream. I haven't thought about that movie in a long time.
In a long time, right.
The Dremel scene where they amputate, that was pretty...
Yeah.
What was the last one?
Ray. So Jamie Foxx is Ray Charles.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Flight, probably.
That was a good one. I haven't seen Ray, actually, but I've seen the other 2. I would probably pick Flight 2. I don't know.
Ray's good too, man.
Yeah.
Ray's good.
Ray's a good one.
But he had PTSD.
I mean,
see, like, there's always these, they call them comorbid. So you have something, and the way you cope is with substance,
like
and then
self-medicating.
Right.
Yeah, and that's something we talked about on the episode. We talked about that J. Cole song, and it's all about how people that have seen some shit and been through some shit, instead of seeking psychological help or something, you know, turn to drugs or alcohol or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so question number 2. This one's the weirdest one. All right, so you have a daughter. Do you guys watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse?
Oh, I suffered through it for a few years, but she's outgrown it.
She's older, yeah. So which Mickey Mouse character, you know, you don't get too far, like don't go down a, you know, list of 50 Mickey Mouse characters. Which character shows the most symptoms for being an addict? If you had to pick one for being for an addict in the terms of like a substance abuse problem, not, you know, an addict to cake or whatever.
Oh, easily Donald Duck is such an angry dude. Like, he's turning a corner right away. Like, you just see him at home. He's just like throwing darts at Mickey's poster, drinking scotch. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's a scotch drinker. I can see that.
Phone calls.
I feel like Donald is the scotch drinker until he gets to a certain point, and then it's natty light all night because he doesn't care.
Right.
Like he's sophisticated for the first 2 drinks, and then it's downhill because, you know, he's Donald. But anyway.
Gets sad drunk too, like that anger just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. And then this one, the third one, you could at some point, or your addictions for another addiction.
Seth, you got to repeat it. You
Anything on earth, what would it be?
If I could trade it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. If you could trade it for another addiction, like you have to be addicted to this new thing, what would it be?
Oh, man. Like a substance or just anything?
Just anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
I would say peanut M&Ms, but that's
Nice.
dangerous too. That's gonna.
That is. That is. Dude, peanut M&Ms are. I feel like peanut M&Ms are objectively the best M&Ms still, even though they have like 50 different flavors. And that's. They taste better and a nostalgia thing. That's my mom would never buy the regular ones, even though as a kid I'm like, I don't want peanuts in my chocolate.
I've started substituting in the.
I appreciate your choices, Mom.
I've started substituting in the chocolate covered almonds from Trader Joe's, but like that's my adult M&Ms.
That's the classy. Like, graduated now from like low level chocolate to it's even Trader Joe's.
Yeah, I mean, it's dark chocolate too, like 90% cacao or something.
Just to let us know just how fancy you
are. They organic dark chocolate almonds?
Yeah, I think that
you have to make sure they're organic.
with sea salt.
Forget it.
With sea salt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Everything has sea salt.
They're $42 a bag.
Yeah, they're pretty high. So let's get into.
I feel like that staves off the addiction, though, right? The price.
The price,
yeah.
Or
it would help.
you just like ruin your entire household.
Well, I was about to say, we're just like, I figured out people at work. This is an interesting thing. So cigarettes, another addiction. My mom was a respiratory therapist. So you know how you said your daughter, or she still is, but your daughter makes music videos with you in her free time instead of doing normal kid stuff. When I was a kid, we watched informational videos on what cigarettes do to lungs. So I remember it's in there. These pictures, these stills from these movies that she showed us. So I don't smoke cigarettes at all, and I have a hate relationship with cigarettes. And people at work, they get smoke breaks and things like that. And so I figured out, I asked them, just kind of playing around, how much money they spend on cigarettes or how many cigarettes they smoke a day, because they're not going to tell me how much they spend. Some of the people at work spend close to $200 every paycheck on cigarettes. $200 just like that is gone.
That's a car payment.
An addiction to the and that's you could get a pretty nice car for a $400 a month. It's mind-boggling. But anyways, just a weird side note.
I also remember those like random videos or whatever, but I didn't get them from my mom. I remember I watched one at school one time, and then that day my grandpa picked me up from school, and he smoked, and I threw his cigarettes away when I got home, and it did not go well. He was really pissed. Luckily I just like threw them in like the bathroom garbage can, so I didn't ruin them or anything. He just like grabbed them out, but he was pissed. But yeah, so you want to get into the quiz?
Can I just ask you?
Yeah.
Do you have the pictures, the nasty pictures of American cigarettes now?
Yeah.
Of like teeth and gums and like the old dude with the mask on.
I can get them. I've seen them. Yeah,
we have those too, and I think over time that subliminally it just directly impacted my view of smoking.
Right.
But yeah, I can't stand the smell of it anymore or anything. It's.
And you know, you do you. If you're watching and you smoke, that's your prerogative. I just don't understand how anyone like under the age of 55 has seen the science and they're like, why not?
I mean, it's just like anything else. You get hooked on it. Like, I used to smoke recreationally at parties and stuff, and then that turned into started buying my own, and then that turned into, I'll smoke a couple times throughout the day. I mean, luckily, I was able to quit cold turkey, and it didn't even really affect me. But I can see how it builds.
Oh, for sure, for sure, yeah. And I get once you're in the thralls of it. Of course, it's like any other addiction, but I just don't understand how you start. Yeah, that first one. It's and I know it's peer pressure more than likely 9 times out of 10, but. It's like, a rough one for me.
This gives you a little bit of a head buzz on top of the beer I'm drinking. So
yeah,
cool.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
That'll turn 2 pints into 3 pretty quickly, and then.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so our last section is called Know Nothing. So we had Know the Art, Know the Artist. Now we got Know Nothing. It's a quick little quiz, and they're all based around the theme of addiction, even if it's in sort of silly or obscure ways. So some of them are multiple choice. Some of them are just like free response. You just have to know it. First question.
Hold on. You're aiming to beat. You got to get all 5. Yeah. Tim DeVille, a guy that we had on a few months ago, he's holding the record right now. He got 4 out of 5 right. So you can share the crown with him at 4, but you got to get all 5 to take the crown.
No pressure. All right, let's do this.
And I kind of forgot you were from Canada, and I'm wondering if culturally, I mean, it's not like you're in like South Africa or something, but I'm wondering if culturally some of them won't translate as well. But we'll see. I don't have any hockey questions.
That would have got me 1 for sure. All right.
All right. In Blades of Glory, the Will Ferrell film, what addiction did Will Ferrell's character Charles Chaz Michael Michaels say that he had? So what addiction did Will Ferrell's character have in the film? And it's probably one you could kind of guess if you're just thinking about Will Ferrell's characters.
All I'm thinking about right now is the mane and tail and the vertically brush, but I can't remember. Dang it!
So he was.
Hold on. Take a stab.
Yeah,
it's not like drugs or alcohol or anything like that.
No. It was some kind of food. Am I right?
No, but that's...
Oh, no. Okay.
So he's a sex addict.
Fair enough.
All right, so this next one's multiple choice. What TV show featured weird addictions? Like a girl who liked to eat sand, a girl who liked to drink paint, a girl who liked to eat rubber tires, etc. And then this one's multiple choice. So was it A, My Addiction, B, Weird Addictions, C, My Strange Addiction, or D, Addicted to Life? Do you need me to repeat any of those?
No, I think it's... Can you say B again?
B was Weird Addictions, C was My Strange Addiction, and D was Addicted to Life.
It's C, right?
Yes, that's right.
It is.
My Strange Addiction.
Nice.
Watching the one where the girl ate mattresses, and I not been... Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I was reading about that show earlier, and there's a lot of controversy because a lot of it is obviously fake, and a lot of it is not really an addiction as much as it is a mental health sort of issue.
Yeah.
But anyway, what drug has been shown to lower the chance of opioid addiction when legalized? So it's been legalized in a few areas, and it's so far shown the chance to lower opioid addiction. Or lower the chance of opioid.
Right? Yeah.
What?
Marijuana?
Marijuana. Yeah,
he's in marijuana, yeah. That is it.
That is correct. All right, so this is one.
Okay, here's the one that maybe...
Yeah, this one's one that I don't know. Are you a basketball fan, NBA?
I mean,
No, but
Yeah.
I know, like, I know.
There's multiple choices.
Yeah, I say it's multiple choice, so you can just take a blind stab. Question 4. Drafted by the Boston Celtics, second overall in the 1986 draft, this player tragically died 2 days later from a cocaine-induced heart attack. He was drafted 1986, second overall, and he was partying right after and died, or like the day after, and died from a cocaine overdose. A. Larry Bird. B. Lynn Bias. C. Larry Overture. And D. Lenny Dexter.
Well, I know it's not Larry Bird because he definitely did not die.
So we can eliminate that. So B was Lynn Bias, C. Larry Overture, D. Lenny Dexter.
I like D because I like that name. Was it Lenny Dexter?
Nah, that's a name I
It was
made
not.
up.
That is a good name, though. I like Larry Overture too.
Yeah, I made up
Overture.
I made up both those names.
No, they're good baseball names too.
Yeah.
Name like
Right.
Yeah.
It was
Cocoa Crisp.
It was B. Lynn Bias, by the way.
Wow.
Lynn Bias, yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah,
eh?
very, very tragic story. There's like a 30 for 30 on him,
Yeah.
I think. Like one of those ESPN 30 for 30s. All right, last one, and this one's just a fill in the blank. This movie and book, while not directly dealing with addiction, explores a drug-addled trip to Las Vegas by gonzo journalist Hunter S. Thompson.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Got it.
Nice.
All right, so 3 for 5. Very good.
Honestly, 3 for 5 is better than 90%
Yeah.
of the people. Yeah. But we've had 1 0 for 5.
Yeah. And several 1 and 1 or 2.
A lot of 1 and 2 for 5s.
Yeah.
And then 1 3 for 5 and 1 4 for 5. So you're one of only 3 people to get 3 or more right.
Yeah. Which is
So,
passing.
That is passing.
I'm not showing off, but I'm not falling behind. So that's good.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I would have asked about a hockey player, we would have been all set.
You would have had 4 out of 5.
Oh, another 10 minutes on the interview, though.
So what part of Canada are you in? This is just out of curiosity.
I live on Vancouver Island. So,
Okay.
yeah, just
Basically
off the
as far west as you can go.
as far west as you can. Well, Queen Charlotte's is the next stop, but then the next stop after that is Japan.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah. Awesome.
but most of the towns are on the eastern side of the island.
Now, can you see Russia from your house? I still crack up whenever I think about
tweets. I cannot see Russia from my house.
I love thinking about Sarah Palin. It makes me laugh every time. But anyways.
Well, and that's one of those ones that got attributed to her, but that was actually Tina Fey that said that.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
That's good to know.
That surprised me, too, because I thought she definitely said it.
Yeah, I could have
a
seen it.
Saturday Night Live skit where she was stuck with Sarah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly. It was on SNL, yeah. Anyway, I think that's about all that
thanks
we
for hanging out.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you guys. This was super fun.
Everyone go check out Aaron B. Thompson's music.
Yeah.
It's all linked on our blog in the show notes for the show. The show will be posted later this week, and you can hear it again. But, yeah, go check it out.
And if you're watching on Facebook, which, or YouTube, either one, we'll just go ahead and put the link down below so you can easily find it.
Who's to say?
Yeah, or up there, yeah. In the cloud.
All around.
I'm not worried about the cloud.
But anyway, I'm going to play your video one more time on the way out for people, or at least for like a couple seconds. And yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and thanks for watching, all those who did.
All right.
Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
Bye, guys.
Another song. Yeah. It's by Johnny Raincloud, and the song is called White Noise. We're also going to link their YouTube video in the comments because
YouTube video is awesome.
Yeah, it's really
did the whole thing with $20, isn't that right?
Yeah,
it's just like,
but it doesn't look like it.
$20, and they said, "Well, we're going to make a music video."
Yeah. So yeah, Johnny Raincloud with White Noise.
some adverse effects of us all eating, breathing, sleeping on that internet. Everything's slowly turning into porn. No wonder no one's getting married anymore. All the girls and boys, they talk about white noise as they all dance around their cake. Where do they go from here? It shouldn't be too clear, but that's the point they make. Everybody drowns. No, they can't see because they're looking down. I dried my eyes, I even got on one knee. I said I'm sorry, I guess, but I really didn't do anything. It's hard to feel bad when you just can't cry. It's hard to feel bad when you don't know why. Into the screen. Everybody drowns. No, they can't see because they're looking down.
White Noise. So this song, the way it fits into Addiction, it's something new. Like everything up until this point has been, well, the first 3 songs I think were substance abuse, and then the song about picking relationships and things like that. But then this one, this is a song about being addicted to technology, being addicted to your phone.
Right.
It's really interesting because it's so true, and it's really strange because they're calling, I think I mentioned this in the blog post we did about them, they're calling people out for being addicted to their phone and their computer while asking people to listen to their song on their phone or computer.
Right.
So it's pretty interesting. I totally get it, what they're saying. There needs to be a balance, because they're talking about, at one point in the song, they talk about how everyone is looking down at their phone while so much cool stuff is happening around them. It actually kind of reminds me. Do you remember the Childish Gambino freestyle? Where he
Sway
raps,
in the morning.
Yeah, he raps over Drake's. Where he talks about, and this is not an immediate, a direct correlation, but you'll get what I mean. But he talks about how rich people don't take pictures; they just see it again. And so, but it's that point, like. Yeah. Pictures on your phone and pictures on your computer can never be a substitute for the real thing, for experiencing the world around you. And that is what this song is all about.
Yeah, it definitely reminds me of the conversation that we were having back in our technology episode. Was that episode 8, I think?
Yeah, with John Atkinson.
Yeah, we were having it with John Atkinson and talking about the struggle between... A lot of artists are kind of anti-technology. I'm pretty anti-technology, but at the same time, we very much depend on it. You know, like we're doing a friggin' Facebook live stream right now. We're using podcasts as a platform, and it's beautiful and it's wonderful and it's horrible all at the same time. And that's how I really think it works well into addiction, because I think that's what we've discussed with pretty much all of these, in the sense of it feels good, it's good, it gives you a benefit, and that's
Addictions
why it's so
have a
addicting.
purpose.
Yeah,
Right.
But then you get to a point where you're like, oh my God, yeah, exactly. You get to a point where you're like, wow, this is affecting my life negatively, and I can't stop.
Right.
Yeah, that's
because I mean, so think about, and we talked about this in the technology episode. Think about all the positives that come along with it. So, authority figures, police officers, government officials, people like that, they're being held more accountable because everyone has a phone in their pocket that takes crystal clear video, whereas 30 years ago it's a blurry picture and second and third hand accounts of what happened, and it's like, well, I believe this law enforcement officer over this this young thug or whatever, and so it's really changed the game in a positive way.
But it's also allowed for stuff like fake news.
Exactly. You can edit the videos.
Yeah, exactly. So the idea that you can lie with pictures and with video. And,
Right. So it's a double-edged sword for sure.
Yeah, right. All right. So, go check out Johnny Raincloud. If you're looking for any of these artists, they're all in our show notes. They're all tagged on Facebook. They're all tagged in the YouTube in the YouTube description. They're tagged everywhere. Go check out all of them. Go spend money on all of them.
Yes, spend money on them.
We have one more song, but before we get there, let's wind things down a little bit, Seth.
Yes.
As always, you can find us on all social media, B-Side Guys, at B-Side Guides. You can find us on our blog, bsideguys.com. You can email us, bsideguys@gmail.com. Also, every episode, we have a giveaway, a Facebook giveaway. Some of you are watching on Facebook, so you might even, be a part of that. You might even catch it
below.
Yeah. So the way that this works, we go through one of our Facebook followers, and all you have to do is follow us. So if you're not already following us, you should go follow us, facebook.com/B-Side Guys. But anyway, you follow us, and then we pick a random person. The way that you get the prize is you shoot us a message or a comment or whatever saying, oh my God, that was my name. I heard it. It was out loud. And then we send you something. Very easy. Seth, do you know who the winner this week is?
I do. And the reason I'm laughing, it was very, very close to being Don Keyballs. Who is
Keyballs.
Yeah,
do you think that's a real person?
He is. That's not the real name, but he's been
that's what he
active.
goes by.
He's liked some stuff and things. Yeah, sure, that's his pseudonym. Anyways, it was one away from being him, but the winner this week is Bart Stiles. So Bart, if you hear this, and he's from Birmingham, Alabama, so it's not even going to be a lot of shipping costs if you win, Bart, or if you respond, Bart. But that is the only way that you will know, is if you actually listen to the show. We don't post it anywhere. We don't, you got to check it out. And I think that this time it'll be a vinyl. I don't know which one yet, but we'll figure it out. But anyways, so one more weird addiction to...
Please.
Lacey, a 24-year-old, has an addiction to rubbing doll heads over her face, and does it like throughout the course of the day, like all day long. So dolls are the creepiest things. They're the worst. I feel like
the little troll dolls would be the best for that, because they're like, bing, like it's sticking straight up. Yeah.
Ooh, the troll dolls with the little fuzz. At least it'd be soothing then.
Yeah.
But this one, it has some... Oh God! This one, she's rubbing a naked doll with clumps of hair missing,
like in Toy Story.
Yeah, it's my God, yes, exactly like that. Anyways, she's just like rubbing it on her face and kissing it. Lacey, that's not good. Anyways, so
Daniel says Precious Moments figurines.
Oh my God! They were so. A lot of them, you could either get the matte or the glossy finish. My sister had them. The matte ones would feel so bad. It's like a nail file rubbing your face.
But
I
maybe
think you'd have to go glossy.
Maybe if that's your thing, you like different consistencies.
Yeah, maybe it's a little texture. Ooh, yikes. Anyways,
don't forget to, if you really like us, go buy a t-shirt on,
like we want to go steady.
Yeah, teespring.com/B-side guys. Donate $1 a month, $1 to patreon.com/B-side guys. And yeah, follow us everywhere. Let's get into our last song is by Little Saint, but the T is a plus sign. So when you go to look them up, just know that. Little Saint, and the song is Remedy, which the reason that this fits into our episode, they're talking about these different remedies being music, but also is like, but fill my cup with Hennessy. And we did a whole blog post on it, which I'll put in the show notes, but basically I think it's very tongue-in-cheek, where it's like talking about remedies that may not really long-term be remedies, which is kind of what we've been talking about all episode.
It's basically the prescription medication commercials online, where it's like, well, cure your anxiety, but the side effects are
anxiety,
nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, death. And only 70% of the people experience blood in their bile. But I think I think you're exactly right. I think the song is about how replacing a vice with a remedy, or a problem with a remedy, instead of just facing it head on, can lead to
other problems,
more problems.
Yeah, exactly. More money, more problems.
That's what I've always heard.
Yeah.
That's what I read in a book. Little Saint. I almost said Little Saint. Little Saint. All right. So, does that about do it, Caleb?
I believe about does it, Seth, and all of Facebook. Yeah. Go check out the show notes. Go spend some money on these bitches. Little Saint.
Oh, they're not bitches. Whoa.
I just meant like bitches, like cool, like those dudes. These dudes.
Paul School of Acting
these
over
people, there. These honorable human beings. Go spend money on them. You got
bitches and honorable human beings are synonymous.
You're a bitch if you don't spend money on them. How about that?
There we go.
All right, Little Saint, Remedy. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Save me.
Your fingers on a phone. You're staring at a screen, thinking about your friend. All those evil enemies. I think you need a remedy. Fill up your cup with Hennessy. From Tewksbury to Tennessee, they're moving to my melody, and it sounds like I am your remedy, I am your remedy, and I am your remedy, I am your remedy. Standing in a room, thinking what to say. Should I drop down to my knees and pray that the devil won't take my soul away? I think I need a remedy. Fill up my cup with Hennessy.
Because I need Hennessy in my life.
From Timbuktu to Tenerife, I hear them sing my melody, and it sounds like you are my remedy, you are my remedy, and you are my remedy, you are my remedy. Don't know why you bring these snaky friends around me. Hey, don't know how your so-called best friend makes you doubt me. Every time we argue with someone for something petty, you never let it get messy. You know that you try to set me, you know that you really get me. Every time you check my phone and told me sleep in the city is cool. That man be fool. Why? But still you're my remedy. Now when I'm getting this money, you're full these lemon trees. Now when I'm laughing, you're funny, got too much chemistry. And every time we fuck, I got the energy. Sweet like this melody, you got me sounding like you are my remedy. You are my remedy. And you are my remedy. You are my remedy. And you are my remedy. You are my remedy. And you are my remedy. You are my remedy.
She eats hunks of drywall. She like yanks it out of her like house, and so she literally has holes in her home where she's eating the drywall.
That's not going to get your safety deposit back. Security
There it
deposit,
is.
I mean.
Okay.
All
right.
right.
Lead us in.
It's my turn, right?
Is there a plane on your end?
Oh my god. No, it's a fucking...
Oh, he's mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
No. That's okay. Forget it. Who cares?
I'm going to close the window at least to try to cut down on some of it. Hold on just a second.
Cool. I'll do a magic trick while you're gone. Well, hello. I don't really know what to do without Caleb. He's kind of my crutch. He's my Neo, and I'm somebody else who's in the Matrix that no one remembers their name. So that's just how it is.
Okay, I turned the gain way down too. I'm just going to have to get closer to the mic.
Ooh, make love.
I'm going to make love to the mic. Alright, are you ready to get started?